on the show, someone foolishly tries to convince me that church apps are a good idea. Well, hey there, Pro Church Nation, and welcome to another episode of Ask Brady. Roxanne and I, we are both wearing black today. Why? Because we are mourning. We're mourning the loss, and we're mourning the death of a lack of Central Hub software that will be ending next week as the launch of Nucleus is officially upon us. We are 4 or 5 days away. I guess today is Thursday when we're recording this, Friday when it goes live. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, 5 days away from the official launch of Nucleus. We have been running a free workshop all week. If you've been listening to the podcast, you've been following along, running a free workshop this week. 3 videos, 1 video went live Tuesday, 1 Wednesday, 1 Thursday. All 3 of those videos are live now. The workshop is called The New Church Website Blueprint, and throughout these last 3 days, we've been breaking down the future of church online presences as I see them. And so if you haven't seen that workshop yet, go check it out. You can go to prochurchtools.com/new, N-E-W, as in the new church website blueprint, and check that out. There's even a 20-page PDF guide that explains the whole idea behind it that you can download as well. So go ahead and do that. If you have questions about Nucleus, feel free to keep getting them into us. You can head over to www.nucleus.church. There we've got the pricing available, the demo. Oh, the demo is live. Finally, the demo is live. You can go to demo.nucleus.church and you can see it. Here it is. Look at it go. Whee! Whee! If you're listening on the podcast, have fun with that one. Whee! Do. Bam, 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 bam. So lots of Nucleus stuff. We have had more than 400 comments already on the workshop, the video workshop, the new church website blueprint. So people are excited about Nucleus, a little too excited. I have been nonstop on the support, on the Facebook, on the Twitter, on the Instagram, on the DMs, on the email, on the intercom, on the Help Scout. And it was good that we're filming this because I was just getting into a little bit of a brouhaha, as I would explain it, with myself, where I was just staring at my computer and just blood boiling in anger at the fact that I just couldn't keep replying to people because like my brain was frying. Not because the questions are bad, it's just like my brain was like, you can no longer do this, take a break. And I was like, must respond to all Nucleus inquiries.
It's true. That's exactly what you looked like, actually.
Well, we should hear it from you because you and Jonas are on the island with me at the desk. So what's it like?
Well, it's a little less party than usual.
Little less party. Canada Dry is going to help. Drink Canada Dry. No, do. Please do. Wait, don't. Is Canada Dry? They've got to be Canadian, right?
I would hope so.
Dry Mott's Inc. Mississauga, Ontario. Alrighty. Well, anything else?
No, I think pretty much we're just consumed with Nucleus right now.
Yep. This Tuesday, April the 25th at 11 a.m. That is when it opens. I've said it a bunch, so I'm going to say it again here just in case, because I don't want anybody to miss this. Because what's going to happen, Roxanne, is we're going to launch. We're going to have this crazy promotional pricing. People are going to miss it, and then we're going to get the angry emails.
That's true.
I don't know how much more I can say it. Here is the Nucleus pricing. We're going to have 2 plans. There's a basic plan and there's an advanced plan. The advanced plan is going to be $99 per month. The basic plan is going to be $65 per month. On the advanced plan, we're going to have church management software integrations like Planning Center, CCB, Alexio, Breeze, whichever ones we end up building out. We're going to have giving natively built in to Nucleus. You're going to have custom domains, all of that good stuff, as well as other advanced features. On the basic plan, you'll be able to build whatever you want with Nucleus, but you won't have those advanced integrations and giving options, email integrations, MailChimp, all that fun stuff as we build it out. Right now, the advanced plan doesn't exist yet. No, it has not been built out yet, those advanced integrations. The reason why is because we're waiting for the first round of Nucleus members to tell us what we should build first, and then we will build according to them. That's how it's going to go down. Here's what you need to know. When we launch Nucleus, Tuesday, April 25th at 11 a.m. Eastern Time for 49 hours, which will bring us to Thursday at lunchtime, Thursday at noon. For 49 hours starting at that time, you are going to be able to sign up for what will be the advanced plan for $49 per month. It's easy to remember. Why is it easy? $49 per month, only available for 49 hours starting April 25th at 11 a.m. Eastern. That's a Tuesday. Okay? In those 49 hours, you can join Nucleus for $49 a month. What you will be is what we're calling a charter member. And what that's going to give you is every advanced feature that we build out, every integration. You're going to get that at 50% off what that plan will eventually be. Why are we doing this? Well, because you're going to be with us from the beginning. So what's going to happen is, yes, it's going to require a little bit of patience on your part, but in the long run, it's going to save you hundreds upon hundreds of dollars. So if you're willing to do that, we would love to have you as a charter member. Now, if you don't make it in the first 49 hours, still a great deal to be had. At that point, the 49 hours are up. It's now Thursday, April 27th at noon Eastern. The price is going to go up from $49 a month to $55 a month. So still a crazy deal, almost 50% off. And that $55 a month charter group will last until the following Tuesday, that's May 2nd at midnight. At midnight on May 2nd, the price will go up to $65 a month. And you're going to lose that guarantee that all the future advanced features will be added to your account for free. So we've got two groups of charter members. The first group, first 49 hours, $49 a month. Second group, $55 a month. Both of those charter groups will get all of the advanced features in the future for free. There's no limit on the charter groups, like there could be 10 million people or one. It doesn't matter, like there's no number, as we've done in the past with like limitations. It's software, there's no limitations. It's not like with Pro Video Announcements where we only had a certain bandwidth. Like it's software, we can have as many people as possible. So that's how it's all gonna work. Pricing. If you need help convincing your senior leadership, go to prochurchtools.com/nucleus. There's this 20-page PDF guide that we put together where you can present to your pastor, to your senior leadership, to present Nucleus and this idea of the central hub. You can go to the demo.nucleus.church. I think we've got everything that people need. I want you to be able to make a decision before that email gets to you, right? Get on the launch list, make sure you get that email, nucleus.church. We're gonna send that email out to you, and I want you to be able to make the decision then and there, I don't want people missing this 49-hour window because the price is insanely affordable, insanely cheap. It's never going to be like this. And that's why we've had such a big build up to Nucleus, because I want to make sure that everyone knows exactly what it is and can make their decision. So that's how it's all going down. I know that's a little bit longer than the intro we normally do, but I want it to be clear about it. So let's get into the questions.
All right. So the first question comes from Tiana. Tiana asks, can you advise the best way to make a multi-campus church website that is still visitor-friendly? What are your thoughts on making the first thing users see on the main URL multiple locations to choose from, which take them to a campus-specific site? Then when they are at that location, any wider church vision content takes them back out of the campus-specific content to a communal page. What do you recommend to navigate all of this?
So firstly, I do not like when you land on a church's website and it says choose your campus. Because if you're a new visitor, this is incredibly foreign. You don't have a campus yet. We think church websites should be targeted with the messaging towards new visitors. So Nucleus makes this very simple, but firstly, I don't like that. And even though, it's not great for new visitors, but even beyond that, I don't like when a platform makes and puts the onus on the user to figure it out, right?
Yeah.
What you're doing there is look, we could figure out a way to make this easy for our church, but it's too difficult, so we're gonna make them figure it out. The onus shouldn't be on them, the onus should be on you to make a platform that makes sense. So I don't like that. One example of how a big church with many campuses is navigating this is NewSpring. So when you go to newspring.cc, their website, looks like every other church website, except they have this bar above the fold that says, enter in your zip code, and then they'll navigate you to the campus. So now, if you are a new visitor, well, you know your zip code. You don't know your campus. You don't know if you're supposed to go to the Drummond campus or the Dorchester campus, or I don't know, but I know my zip code, and that can help me figure it out. So that's a great way to compensate for that. Of course, if you're using Nucleus, I would have your main website, your main church website, be the main website that's reaching new visitors and giving them all the information they need, and then have campus-specific nuclei, that's going to be fun, campus-specific nuclei that will then allow those individual campuses to take their next steps. So that's what's so great about the twin website framework, having one online platform as your central hub, one for each campus, one for your whole church, however you want to do it. and then having your main website that's targeted towards new visitors.
That makes sense. All right. Question 2 comes from Trey. Trey says, between sermon series, we usually have 1 or 2 one-off sermons. If we were to move our announcements before the service, which I would like to do, we would lose our filler. We need the 30 seconds to switch scenes from worship to message. Is a generic bumper appropriate and practical? What might that look like?
Yeah, so transitioning, you can do a number of different things here. This kind of reminds me of the old church video that got played by almost every church. I think it was called like This Is Our Church.
Yeah.
And it was like, at our church, we don't water down the gospel. At our church, we make a big deal about Jesus. This is our church.
That's
and then
actually
everyone
what
was
the
like,
voice sounded
right? At our church, we don't even raise our hands during worship. That's how stoic we are. At our church, we roll around on the floor like charismaniacs. At our church, those lines were not.
No, those
lines
were made up. That was
no,
not
see, that was where you could get like your theological bend on the actual the video. Imagine if they had a customization option where you could do that. Like, at our church, we handle snakes. This is our church.
You could select your denomination and it just like is all the same, but
No,
then
it's
like a voiceover comes
It's a
in.
slider, like, how charismaniac are you?
Yeah.
At our church, if you don't prophesy, you're going to hell. Anyway, so what I think that you could do is have like kind of like a generic welcome video, but I think we're past the place where we're kind of like buying videos off Worship House Media. At least I hope we're past that place. You know, with video being the most dominant medium of our generation and of our lifetime, and it being everywhere, like just stock video, I think we're beyond that. And the great thing about the phone is that it's made video like it's kind of just made poor quality video, or what used to be considered poor quality video, the norm. And so you don't even need to have crazy video quality to have something great. And so what I would have is kind of like a generic video that is like a welcome video to your church. You could cast some vision. You could do something like, you could do a story there, which would be great. Like, I think that would be a perfect place to inject that. If you need a transition piece. Yeah, there's like so many different video options that you could do that I wouldn't necessarily be a bumper. I wouldn't do a generic bumper. I would do a welcome video, a vision casting video, a story video, something like that. And then you could fill in that space, still have the great transition, and put your announcements at the beginning. Win, win, win.
Perfect. All right, third question comes from Monica. Monica says, hey Brady, I love the idea of the central hub. Question, for those that will be quick to say that they don't use technology much, such as senior adults, etc., how could we as the communications staff get them into the central hub model?
Yeah, great question from Monica. First thing that we should consider is like 7 out of every 10 adults are now on Facebook in America. So if someone's coming to you and saying they don't use technology, the first thing to recognize is that they are in the minority. And this may sound crass, but not only are they in the minority, but they're also going to die soon. Meaning that this is a short-term problem, right? And so if we're a church, I like to say you should always be working in 2 churches. The church you have now and the church you're building toward, right? We have seen and are living through the biggest communication shift in the last 500 years. That is going to increase, right? Like, we're not at the peak of this. This is only going to keep going this way. Millennials are already 1 in 3 in the American workforce, the biggest cohort within the workforce as it is now. So this is like a temporary problem. And we also have to consider that most senior adults, and I'm very confident saying that, most have no problem with technology. Why? Well, because they're being forced to use it. Like, every senior adult I know is at least able to use FaceTime. Why? Because they want to connect with their grandkids.
Yeah.
At the very least. I think I said this the other day, like my grandparents were here in the office and they were talking about setting up a group text on WhatsApp for the whole family. And I was like, what are you even talking about right now? They're like, WhatsApp, you're not on it? Come on, Braid. And not every senior adult is going to be that way. But the big thing to consider is that, okay, this is a minority. They're probably a very vocal minority. And they're probably the type of people that have been at the church for a long time, and more problematic, they probably give pretty regularly and pretty substantially, right? But they are the minority, and this isn't a problem that's going to increase, it's only going to decrease. So how do we solve it in the meantime? Well, the great thing about using Nucleus and the central hub is that we think every central hub should also have a physical representation. So what you can do is you can use a browser like Browsy, and you can remove the navigation of the Nucleus demo. So you can have it like this on a tablet without all the navigation. You can put it on guided access, whatever you want. And then what you can do is you can set up these tablets in your lobby with an attendant there, like an individual there. And so when someone wants to take a next step, when someone wants to sign up, register, give, whatever it might be, they can go, and the tablets are there. I mean, the Nucleus software, at least, is very easy to use and intuitive, even for someone who's older. And if they're having extreme problems, there's someone who's right there to help them. The great thing about this is, now that they've been helped to do it once in real life, they're much more likely to be able to do it on their own next time. And if they have to go back and they just continue to be stubborn, great, they're still the minority. You shouldn't have to break your entire communication strategy because of a minority, even if they are vocal, even if they are giving a ton. Now, with all that being said, like, we don't want to discount them, right? We don't want to make things hard for them. And that's why you have the physical representation of the central hub. Someone is there to help them if needed. Win, win, win.
All right. Last question comes from Leanne. Leanne says, I have a question about the email video about why your church shouldn't build an app. The big advantage I see with an app that wasn't mentioned in the video or post was the ability to send push notifications. This could be so beneficial with event reminders, food collection Sundays for our food pantry, end of the year giving reminders, etc. Do you see this as a big enough advantage to warrant an app?
So this is a common argument from individuals that are saying mobile apps are awesome. The most recent stat that I saw has it at 38% of app users saying that they rarely or never allow push notifications.
True.
And this number has increased year after year. If that's a 2016 number, I imagine it'll increase this year. We're getting to the point where we're at push notification fatigue. The only push notifications I have on here are real people texting me. If I could turn the phone notifications off, where like the phone wouldn't even work, I would do it. Like, we're getting to the point of push notification fatigue because we're like, every app wants to do it. We're like, okay, no app. I control social and I control media. Media and social don't control me. With that being said, push notifications are still useful. For the 62% that are willing to turn on push notifications. Now, just because they're willing doesn't mean they will for your church's app. That they might, but that's 62%. Let's be generous. Let's say 50% of the people that download your app will turn on push notifications. What percentage of that 50 is the percentage of people that also downloaded the app and stored it on their phone, right? Because like if the end of the app argument is it's worth it because of push notifications, let's back up a couple steps. Okay, there's 100 people in your church. What percentage of that 100 are going to download the app, store it on your phone, and become active users? Because the data to getting to that point isn't great. 50, oh crap, I don't even remember like what it is, but it's a big number. I think it's 50 or 80, either way. The majority of people download 0 new apps per month. 80% of people that do download an app don't become an active user. So at that point, you've already lost 50 of the 100, and then what's 20% of 50? 10. Now you're at 10 people, and then 50% of those people won't put on push notifications. So now you're at 5 people out of 100. Now, those statistics are just a rough estimate, but I think that they bear out in reality, right? So you started with 100, now you've got 5 people with push notifications. Here's an alternative that is free. It's called an email list. You know what sends me push notifications? My email. And I check it a lot. And so does 85-year-old Sheila, because she loves email, because she doesn't really want to download this app and put on push notifications, but email is still fine for her. And everyone still uses email. It's the greatest communication platform. Pro Church Tools is built on email. The whole company, built on email. And we're reaching savvy communicators that are almost always younger. Email's still the best way to reach them. And it's free. You set up a MailChimp account, you can get if you can get 5 people to set up push notifications out of 100, you can get 90 out of those 100 to give you their email address in your church. You can reach them, and that's a much better push notification. It's free, doesn't require you to develop an app, and it's gonna reach so many more people. That's what we're trying to do, right? In a perfect world, if we're all allowing push notifications, that would be great. The reason we don't allow it is because it's so invasive.
It's true.
And so to think that your church is going to allow you to do it, even if you can beat those odds, right? You're never going to get close to what email is going to allow you to do. So yeah, that's why push notifications, the argument doesn't sway me, doesn't convince me, because the data is still not good, and because there's a much better, free, more widely used, and easier alternative. Boom, roasted.
Yeah.
Oh, that's it?
That was quick.
Oh, great. What are we at? What time are we at?
19.
19 minutes? Oh, man. I tried to shorten up my answers because I was talking so much about nucleus at the beginning. It's all good?
I'm good.
All right. Well, if you want your question answered, you can always just hashtag Ask Brady on Twitter and Instagram. You can hashtag Ask Brady in the comments on Facebook and YouTube. Thank you so much for submitting your questions. Next week, Roxanne won't be here.
No, I will not.
She's abandoning me during the nucleus launch.
Yeah, it was just bad timing for me.
Yeah.
I tried to get my friends to move their wedding.
I tried to break her friends up. I still think that's an option.
We still got time.
But yeah, the nucleus launch happening next week. Next time we see you on Ask Brady, Nucleus will be live. And so many of you will be inside the platform, building your central hub, changing your communications for the better. So thanks for being a part of Pro Church Nation. Thanks for watching Ask Brady. See you next time.